Alright, we got a little rain last night. The creek is really cooking. You can actually see it was all the way up to here. So basically to the base of that tree. Alright guys, welcome back to another episode Up and Running. Thanks for watching. Alright, hopefully we finally got all the parts so we can finish the brakes on this Lincoln. Which brings me to a good point. When you're working on these older cars, it's not as easy as calling up the auto parts store and them having it on the shelf and it coming right out. So you have to be patient. You have to do a lot of research. You'll find that with the gas tank that's going into this car, I probably spent 2 to 3 hours doing research on figuring out what gas tank was going to work in this car. So you have to be patient with these. There's a lot of other vehicles that I've worked on where I've searched for days for parts, and what you end up doing is finding some obscure company, you know, in North Carolina or New York or wherever that just specializes in little individual components. One great example was on my Super Bee. When I was doing that, I needed a tiny little clip to hold a rod onto the door handle, so when you push the button, the door open. And I finally found that. I can't remember if it was Pennsylvania or where, but somewhere out east. It's the only time I paid $14 for a clip. By the time I paid for the clip, the shipping, the tax, everything on it, that's just what it ends up costing. These things are getting harder and harder to find in junkyards. They just, you know, don't exist there anymore, and so you just have to do your homework and be very patient. So anyway, I'm glad you came back, and thanks for watching. Alright, since we originally were going to take a look at the gas tank on this car when I was going to drive it down here, let's do that. So there's the where the sending unit goes. It's kind of crusty all the way around it. Let's see if I can get a better angle on it. Maybe. And I don't know if you can see inside, but it's kind of crusty on the inside. So I went ahead and ordered a new tank, so we're going to just go ahead and put one in. I think I showed you before there was some rust in the tank right up there. There's been a couple repairs on this tank. I pulled the sending unit out and cleaned it up. Actually, let me turn the light on here. That's not horrible, so I'm going to reuse that. That's in halfway decent shape. So as soon as the tank gets here, we'll put that in. I got to show you this though. This is what somebody had in there to act as the O-ring for that sending unit. Just a bunch of silicone. There's the ring. I got to go ahead and clean that up yet, but that'll be fine as well. So we're going to go ahead and do it. All right, it's the next day. We got all the stuff for this. We're going to get after it. I ordered a parts kit for this, and it doesn't have the spring, the oval shaped spring that goes on the end of there. Ours is right here. not in the best shape, but that's the spring that it should be. So I've got that coming, so we'll continue on in a minute. Another thing that the parts kits never seem to include is this cable right here. I kind of knew that, so let me hold it up here a little bit so you can see it. Ours was okay, so I didn't order them, but they're never in the parts kits either. Alright, the new gas tank came along with the ring for the O-ring for the sending unit, and then the clamp. So we held it up there. It seems to be the right tank, so we'll get that put in a little while as well. Alright, we also got the springs for the emergency brake, so we can go ahead and get those put in as well. This one all put together. Blooper on my part, because this car had no brakes when it rolled in here. I had the emergency brake on and we were fighting to get it all together, and then it dawned on me the emergency brake was on, so that helped a lot. So anyway, looks like we got this one done. Now on to the other one. Gone, I just take a bicycle inner tube and cut it and slide it over the straps, and then I have the isolators on the straps. Alright, there we go. You got isolators on your straps now. Smooth them out a little bit, look good. Then you've got an extra Schrader valve for parts.
Is that upside down?
It doesn't fit with that in. There it goes. You gotta be kidding me.
I think these straps might be swapped. It's got decent thread. That's almost all the way in, so you can tighten it. Sorry to be rushing you, Ken. No, how tight are you tying it? Are you doing it till it's...
I wanted to slide the tube, have the tank this way as far as possible so the tube would go in the front of it. I think it's good.
Well, we can always loosen these up.
Yeah, you know it. I mean, you still get up there real easy to put that ground in, so I'll get that ordered this afternoon.
Is that 2 loops?
Yeah. It doesn't move around, it's over here.
Alright.
Alright, that was putting the tank in. I've got to get the grommet for the filler, and then that'll be all done. So right up in there, if you can see it, that's the filler neck. So I'll get that grommet for there, and then we'll put the filler neck back in. I just have to go ahead and hook up the fuel. That's a matter of just one plug and tightening a line up. So then we'll be done. Alright, now that this tank is out of the car, let's look at it a little closer. There you can see somebody did a little patchwork on it. That's what the opening looked like. That's all rusted. There you can see the brazing that someone did. When you tip it up, you get a little bit of gas out of it there. Alright, I'm going to pick one end of this tank up and see if you can hear all the crap in it. I'm going to do it again from the other end. I just think there's a lot of rust in there and a lot of junk, so that was a must do to change that tank out. Alright, hold it. Very rewarding. Going to wrap it up for another episode Up and Running. I hope you enjoyed it. Come back next time. We'll keep working on the Lincoln. Ran that on my shoe. Dang it! Stupid blooper. I dumped that on my shoe. That's awesome. Alright, that's going to wrap our welcome back. Alright, welcome back. Oh, I hope we're not going to do the laughing thing every time again.